Hello and welcome to Gospel Fortified. My name's Justin, and the basis of your God-given nobility is immediately suspended. The basis of it is the moment you stiff arm Jesus. You know, there is an awful lot of "we have rights" language out there today. And I think that's amazing. What a grace from God. Like you scroll back in time a handful of centuries, or at least even right now, a few thousand miles east, and that's just not the belief system. But here in the West, right now, we have women's rights, teachers' rights, gay rights, trans rights, kids' rights, parents' rights. Some of them, I believe, are made up. Some of them obviously contradict each other. But as Christians, we can celebrate the grace of God and that people believe right now in their inherent worth. And that is stunning. Let's see if we can expose the reasons for this belief and maybe even build a little bridge to that belief with the gospel. I'll start with a mighty thesis. Atheism and other religions cannot get you to rights language. Yuval Noah Harari, a non-Christian historian, is so honest in this. Most legal systems in the world today are based on a belief in human rights. But what are human rights? Human rights, like God in heaven, are just a story that we've invented. They are not an objective reality. They are not a biological fact about Homo sapiens. Take a human being, cut him open, look inside. You will find the heart, the kidneys, neurons, hormones, DNA, but you won't find any rights. If you're tracking with the logic of that argument, I think it is so insightful because rights are not biological. That they aren't objective unless Christians would argue there is an objectivity beyond biological, as in a creator has placed rights within us. Or Thomas Hobbes, a famous non-Christian, he wrote this: "For what is the heart but a spring, and the nerves but so many strings?" How about that for a view of humanity? Like that might sound pretty innocent until you realize that we are just pawns of production, little machines with no rights, except just to function. I wonder what sort of government that could lead to. Or how about Heinrich Himmler, the chief architect of the Holocaust? There is nothing particular about man. He is but a part of this world. Well, he's honest. Nothing particular about man sounds humbling, but it's actually incredibly degrading, which is exactly what this guy went on to architect. It's actually similar to the logic of PETA, which I understand that will offend many people, but I mean that. Quoting Ingrid Newkirk, "A rat is a pig, is a dog, is a boy." So in the elevating of animal rights, which again sounds great, and I'm there for some of it, human rights are again degraded, which is why Ingrid went on to say in an interview that it would be better if humans just weren't on the planet, as if God has made some great mistake. So a quick succession of questions for you and maybe for a friend. First, what rights do you believe we have? Second, why those rights? Third, what arguments do you have for them? Because to assume that humans have dignity and deserve rights is actually a Christian thing to say, even if you're not Christian. Thousands and thousands of years ago, a little line was written down in this book called Genesis, written by Moses. "Let us make man in our image after our likeness." And that tiny little line is disproportionately heavy, like lead. The image of God grounds the belief in you that you are not an animal, not a machine, but gloriously other. You cannot degrade yourself, but neither can you deify yourself. I think C.S. Lewis says it perfectly, as he so often does in the Chronicles of Narnia, in the person of Aslan, the great lion. "You come of the Lord Adam and the Lady Eve, and that is both honor enough to erect the head of the poorest beggar and shame enough to bow the shoulders of the greatest emperor on earth." So yes, keep on saying you have rights. Keep believing that you are noble and worthy and that you matter, because you do. But think deeper about why you believe that, because it is not a universal belief. It is a Christian belief that is influencing these Western beliefs. We are image bearers of our Creator, crowned with dignity. My challenge to you or to your friend is to not sever that nobility from Jesus. To live in his kingdom without offering allegiance to him, the king, will not only lead to all sorts of dissonance in your life, you're missing out on the best part: relationship with him. So riddle me this, and then I'm going to end the video. If Jesus has given us our nobility and our rights and has grounded that with arguments this world is still reaching for, might Jesus have more to give you if you were to take him at his word? I'd love to keep this conversation going, but I'll end it here. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'm very active there. Let's chat. And while you're locating the subscribe button, do it. I'm going to go find my crown. I think I misplaced it somewhere in the closet.